Your lifestyle, the street, leads you into two things. To spend the rest of the life in prison or for getting killed. And I tell them, I know what you're thinking. Nobody's gonna kill you, so guess where you're going? Because you're gonna have to kill forward and you're gonna be doing life in prison. So it's either one. Either you get killed or you kill. And if you kill, you go into prison, but that could change right now. Change your lifestyle. Change your behavior. And start walking a new direction. Which way is that? Straight ahead.
That makes sense. Yeah, I get it.
Yep. And when I tell them that, they say, "Oh, that's why you play the ministry calls straight ahead." That's all we're trying to teach you, buddy. Hey, but which way am I supposed to go? I said, brother, just go straight ahead. Don't look back. Leave that all behind. If you're gonna start fresh, you need to go straight ahead. That's what I did.
Hey, Hector.
Good morning.
I am 3 minutes away.
Okay, brother. So when you come, just when you come up the street, I got the black van in front of the house. I'm gonna move forward. You're gonna park right where I'm at.
Okay.
All right. I'll see you soon.
Sounds good.
Okay.
All right. Bye.
But Straight Ahead really exists to provide opportunities for young people who are caught up in this system of the juvenile justice system, both to encounter hope while they're locked up, and we do provide the faith-based programs for hundreds of juvenile facilities at a key time in kids' life, but then we continue to work with them when they get back into their communities. Some say, well, that's where their work really begins, but a lot of the powerful things really happen in some of the worst places, which is often juvenile detention.
Yeah, so this is what I do almost every Thursday.
Yeah.
Yeah, every Thursday we go to the food bank. One of our kids from Straight Ahead Ministry, which is Joel, better known as Alex. And he participates with me on Thursdays. As we teach them, it's always good to give back to the community. Alex, Joel likes to come out and help me unload up the van. I've been doing this for a good 11 years. Going and pick up food at a Lowell food bank, Merrimack Valley food bank, to give out to the community. There's about 11 pantry in the city, but so many people are going, they only get a couple of one bag or two, Sometimes they don't always get what they need. But here, I keep it to a limit of 40 people, but they take at least 6 or 7 bags, and they got enough food for 2 weeks. I mean, if you eat it in the right way, you got a family pack, there's only 2 of you. You're not going to abuse it and eat it all up or cook it all up in one day. No, you have to be smart about it, because we live in some critical times. Yeah, put on your mask. Come out.
What, you want to start right now?
Yeah.
We work with youth ages 14 to 24 years old who are incarcerated inside the juvenile justice system, pre and post release. And so all the work that we do starts on the inside of the lockups. Like right now, I go into 6 facilities every single week with my partner, Hector Brito. We believe that a whole community coming together is gonna be best fit to help these youth. And so We'll have a different agency that does the education. We collaborate with different agencies that do mental and substance abuse counseling. We do work with different agencies that do like jobs and so housing. And so the better you can collaborate with others in the community, the better off they're going to be for the youth. We work with these guys, really try and develop them in their identity and who they are in God. The ones that don't want to have a relationship with God, because there's a lot of them that don't, and that's fine, we'll mentor them. But the same thing, we'll just mentor them one-on-one with them and just help them just in everyday life. Just having a place with them where they can have real conversations and not be judged. And really the biggest thing we do is just try to get them looking towards the future.
In Jesus' name, we're up.
I was actually making a sandwich when you called me. Oh.
Colin finally got his ID, bro.
That's good.
I drove him in. I took him there an hour earlier. I picked him up, took him an hour earlier. He forgot his money, so I gave him the money. I said, you pay me when you get back home.
Yeah, man, you're always there for us, to be honest. I don't know what I would have done if you wouldn't been there. When I was supposed to get my license, I was like, yo, I'm
What
not.
we here for, brother?
Going, man.
What we here for?
If you didn't help me out with that, I wouldn't have it. I wouldn't been doing DoorDash either.
Well, praise God, I had that money.
Yeah, for real.
When, like last night, I got a call from another person from a different church asking me about. So I do ministry in prisons, upstate prisons.
Yeah.
So he was asking me if I could check up on his son and to see when they're gonna start doing visit by Zoom. So I told him I'll call in and find out. So I'm also a recovery coach, so I work with people in the city. They have family, when they have some kind of member in their family with drug addiction, call me up. Can I get them into a detox? Can I come and talk to them? Yeah, so yeah, I'm busy. Busy's good. When I was active in addiction, I wasted a lot of time. I wasted too much time. I've been clean 18 years, but I was an addict for 27. There's a program in Lawrence right in our building which is called Uncommon Threads, and they empower women with clothing. And I help out women that I know that, a single mom, and I'll give them the application, they fill it out, I bring it into the Uncommon Threads, and then when they get their clothes ready, I drop them off.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. Pretty nice clothes, brand new. So I do the referral.
Yeah.
And Uncommon Threads make the bags with the shoes, pants, jacket, you name it. They give it all. And I just go and drop them off. Like the girls in Dunkin' Donuts, most of them are single mom. And I'm always taking care of them, Making sure everybody's okay in the city.
Yeah.
People sometimes ask me, why are you doing it? I say, because I am Lawrence. If we were in there, it would just be an empty ghost town. But the people make Lawrence.
Yeah.
There's still a lot of good people in the city.
You say you've been doing this thing for
Yeah.
11 years?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Oh, yeah.
Talk about committed.
Oh, yeah. Well, before you came along, I used to do that by myself. And then I started getting some help at the church.
I'm telling you, Hector's amazing, bro.
I do it because I wish somebody would have done it for me.
He always says that too.
I need my coffee. It's gonna be a long day. and they have a truck.
Oh, one of the big ones too. Just show yourselves. Remember he said to park on number 5 the other day?
Let's see. Well, we won't be able to do that. So I worked for a shelter in Lawrence, and one time I had to come here and pick up their food. And right away I asked about the application because I was already feeding people under the bridges in Lawrence. So that's how we were getting some food to keep feeding the people under the bridge. And it started out slowly, not a big amount, small amount. But after a while, they see what I was doing, and they brought up the amount of food that I could pick up. So when I came out of prison,
Yeah.
I started going back into my community and try to rescue people with addiction and homelessness. So I lifted up a ministry called Rescue Ministry.
Mm-hmm.
And we were going under the bridge in Lawrence, and we were feeding the people early in the morning. And we're feeding about 40 to 50 people every Saturday morning. Homemade breakfast.
Homemade breakfast?
Yeah. So they all knew me because I worked at the shelter. So after that, I got connected with them through Daybreak Shelter because I came one day to pick up their donation for the shelter. So I asked for an application, and that was 11 years ago, and I'm still doing it. So all this comes from what I've been doing on the street since I came out of prison. Came out of prison December 17, 2005, and March 15, we hit the street in Lawrence. I came out to Assembly of God Church.
Yeah.
So now I'm part of something. Then after a while doing the rescue ministry, one of our local pastors, Milagro Grullon, talked to me about straight ahead, which I've been going into lockup. So in 2005 when I came out, I went back into prison by June. I was already back in lockup. But this time I'm going on my own as a minister.
Mm-hmm.
So I've been doing prisons for the past 13 years. And I walk into 5 prisons. And out of those 5, 3 of them are state prisons. I do Gardner, Norfolk, and Concord. So we go in once a week, and go and preach the gospel.
You know what I feel bad about, Hector?
Hmm?
When I was in prison and you guys were telling us that you will help us when we come out and this and that, I didn't believe you. I didn't believe it at all. Like, I came out and they brought me to another city because that's where I had the court at. That's where I got sentenced from. And they brought me to Salem, Massachusetts. And I was like, how am I going to get out of here? Like, can I take the train to Lawrence? I didn't know where I was going to go. I had a cousin. But like, I was like, yo, how am I going to get there? And I started looking through numbers. I still looking, like, I hadn't been in contact with them for like a month because I really didn't believe that they would actually do this. Like they just lying, man. Like, who would do that? Like, there's nobody that's gonna waste their time on that, dude. And then I didn't have a ride to go to the city at all, and I'm stuck in Salem, Massachusetts. I'm like, oh, what am I gonna do? I live in Lawrence,
Yeah.
but I got sentenced off of Salem, Massachusetts, so I had to go to court. The day I got released, they had to bring me to the court I got sentenced off. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
I'm over there, and I'm like, yo, I'm not supposed to be here. I'm supposed to be in Lawrence. They're like, no, we're supposed to bring you here first, and then you can go anyway. I'm like, yo, dude. I'm like, okay, whatever. So I don't know what to do.
You too.
And I remember they gave me the card.
Yeah.
You know, for some reason, like, thanks God, I saved that card. So I called Hector. I was like, let me see if he's gonna pick up, because like I said, I didn't believe it. I was like, yo, this and that. He was like, I'll be there in 30 minutes. I'm like, oh shit.
Do you remember that day?
Mm-hmm.
And that was what, like a
I
year?
picked him up in shorts and stuff, and he says, well, I need to get some clothes. He had a little check. I think I cashed your check,
Yeah,
right?
you cashed my
Your
check.
first check when you came out of lockup.
I know.
And I says, well, don't go and spend all your money on expensive clothes. He says, no, I'm going to go to one of those thrift store. And he picked up some clothes. And sometimes we talk about it, and it says, wow, man, it's amazing. How much clothes do you have now? He says, I don't even know what to do with them. So when he came out, he didn't have nothing but praise God. But he's come a long way. He's done a lot of this work by himself. Because, I mean, all we could do is teach him, but did you want to learn, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And we're just walking right next, side by side with him.
92% of juveniles and adults in prison, when you ask them, well, what do you need when you get out? They'll say a job. I just need a job. And that's true. We have started businesses to employ people when they come out because nothing stops a bullet like a job, as it's been said, and I agree with that. But I've gotten a lot of people jobs and apartments and all that who couldn't sustain them. And then, you know, they burn through it because that seems like the magic bullet. When you talk to people who've been out for a year successfully and ask them, you know, what was it that you'd say most contributed to your success, they'll always say a relationship. I was connected to so-and-so. And then I'd got a job and I may have gotten an apartment and all those kind of things. But if you don't have a relational connection, the other's not going to hold you. That's just been my experience.
So we live by example, you know what I mean? That's what we want to do.
Mm-hmm.
You know? We got some rules, which they do a good job following.
Yeah.
Our kids are in it. They're really in it. I mean, kids have never been back into prison. And the kids that we were working with, Carlitos used to be locked up, you know? Some of our kids used to get locked up every 2 months, every 3 months. But some of our kids have been out for 2 years, haven't gone back.
I feel like it's also about like the crew members too. Like none of us are doing anything wrong anymore. Like we're doing the right thing. So if I see one of them doing the wrong thing, it's like maybe I want to do that. You know what I'm saying? But if I see people like my crew, like my partners, I can say, doing the right thing, I'm gonna do that too, cause you know.
One of the kids I work with, that knew this kid here, and he told me about when they were living in the street. There was a group of them. They used to live inside cars, and told me about a couple of stories about him. And he's come a long way.
Yeah.
He's come a long way. I don't know how he ended up in Lawrence. I really don't. But when he ended up, he was homeless in the street with a whole bunch of other kids. And they used to sleep in cars. Yeah.
How many other kids?
There was about 5 of them. 2 of them are doing a whole bunch of time in prison. One of them, he was good. He did good in prison. He's out. You know, I still work with him. We're still on the phone. He got his family, he got his place. I help him out too. You know, with food and stuff like that. He got the baby.
Right.
Yeah. But Alex, one thing I tell my kids is when they do good, I tell them, I am proud of you.
Right.
You know? Sometimes people don't tell them that. Food bank, and we were able to get out right away, but today we had to wait until they empty out the trucks so we could get served. If we load up the truck, we come to the church, empty it out, and then we have another team that comes in and help me pack and help me distribute the groceries to the people that pull up to the parking lot of the church, right back to the store. They come back in reverse, pop the trunk open, and they stay in the car and we serve them. That's our goal for today, to feed 30 family. Normally we feed more than 45 family, but things was kind of low today at the food bank, so we had enough to feed 30 family today. But 30 family is 30 family.
If you do believe in this faith, I mean, you can go into facilities and do Bible studies, do mentorship. If that's not your kind of cup of tea or whatever. You know, maybe you have, you know, a business that you can help employ some of these youth. Maybe you're a teacher and you don't mind tutoring. A lot of our kids need tutoring. It's one of the things where it's like, what do you have to bring to the table? You know, I don't want to limit it. I mean, it's like, again, strong collaboration makes, you know, best practices, especially for the youth, that's going to help them with a long and successful transition. And so, so whatever you have to bring to the table, then, you know, we can definitely use.
And as you see, our young kids from Straight Ahead Ministry now are connected with Rescue Ministry, you know? So Rescue Ministry and Straight Ahead Ministry, we are combining them together, that every Thursday we work together to serve the community. So they can see how much need it is out there. Not everybody got it all. Not everybody got it down pack. I want them to see that, how much the need is out here. And second, show them how to be serving. You know, it's good when you're getting served, but it's even better when you're serving others. They love it.
Yeah.
I mean, they're not forced to come out. They do it because they want to. You know? And as you see in Joel this morning, how much fun he was having today.
Sure. Yeah.
Amen.
Yeah.